Oh, we're really excited. This is a big draft for us, and it's a busy week because we have 8 picks in the first 4 rounds. So the bulk of those players are here for us to get our final interview with in. So it's exciting for us to talk to these kids and see them face to face. Generally, this is our third or fourth interview with most of these kids, but not as a group like we're doing now.
Yeah, and that was what we talked about when we spoke with you about a month ago, is that getting everybody together as a group to kind of sit and chat and maybe get to know a little bit more of the person behind the player too. Is that a lot about what you guys are hoping to accomplish this week too?
Absolutely. So we basically we start with the area scouts. They interview the players, and then we go to some FaceTime interviews, and then we get the process here. When you get to see the kids postseason, when they're not as stressed about a game the next night or whatever, right? So you're trying to make them comfortable and get a feel for the person, get their views on how they are as a player, and you only have 20 minutes with each kid. So you have to do your homework before, but the most important thing is making the kid comfortable and trying to get a true feel for his personality.
In talking with Connie, I mean, you mentioned it off the top, the draft capital, the number of early picks that the Flames have this year. And he mentioned, in his years of doing this might be the most players that the Flames have interviewed. I mean, is it important from your guys' perspective to get a wide range of kind of inside looks at some of these kids just based on the capital that you have going into Vegas?
Absolutely. I've been here before where we've done 30 interviews and, you don't have as many picks. Here we're doing, like I said, we got 5 full days, and I'd much rather be busy like this than not have guys to interview. So again, it's a process throughout the entire year. Most teams talk to the kids 3 or 4 times, so it's not unique to our team as far as the amount of interviews. And then you get your information, and you might pick up something that you want to follow up on, a tidbit here, a tidbit there. And there's actually a couple more. I have a couple more camps I'm going to in the next couple weeks, and then Connie and Don and I are going to see a couple kids as well later in the month before the draft. So there's some individual people, like more concentrated on the top 30 guys that we're going to go talk to. So it's a process, but I think it's a very necessary process.
Give me a kind of a look inside just to the amount of work that your area scouts do to prepare you for this week and for the month ahead.
Oh, it's a ton, and it's all documented. It's all in our databases. So they get sources, multiple sources, and then they do an interview with them, and then Matt Brown does an interview with them, and it just keeps on going until you get to here. So we have a lot of. That's why when you only have 20 minutes, you have to go in with pointed questions you want to make sure you get to, because you can't get to know the kid now. It's too late. You can see his personality more, like I said, after the season's over, but mostly it's the area guys doing the homework, and then us delving into more individual points.
Obviously, as we speak right now, Todd, this is the interview portion of the week. As we get on into Friday and Saturday, the fitness testing aspect of it comes into play. In talking with Craig yesterday, one of the things he mentioned was it gives you guys an opportunity maybe to project where a player at 18, 17, 18 might end up at 21, 22, 24 physically. Just give me a sense of the importance of that physical testing and just, kind of what you guys hope to get out of it.
So it's a lot different. I watch the NFL Combine and that stuff, but those kids are 22, 23 years old for the most part. They're at their peak physically for the most part, right? So these kids are 17 years old. So we bring our strength and conditioning crew in. So we're not looking to make final judgments here. For us, it's the beginning for them. It's okay. This is where a kid is at right now physically. This is where he has to get to get to the NHL. So there's a lot of parts of that. Like there's kids that are more physically developed. There's you have kids that are born in 05 that may be an October birthday versus kids that are born in August. So you're looking at those, and you want to see the room for growth, but you also want to know how much they've trained. Underdeveloped kids who haven't trained a lot, you can say, hey, they got a lot of room for growth, right? That's a positive for us. It's not a negative. Sometimes the kids, they think that's a negative, but it's not. This kid has a lot of room for growth, where if you see a guy who's more mature physically, he doesn't have room to grow, that all weighs into the overall evaluation.
And lastly, you touched on it briefly, but just again, go over, once the Combine here in Buffalo is done at the end of the weekend, just what the next couple of weeks look like as your group prepares for June 28th, 29th in Las Vegas.
Well, we'll keep going. We'll keep watching a lot of video, and then we have, like I said, Connie, Don, myself, Dave Nonis. We've got a few more individual interviews to do, and we'll travel around a little bit to do that, and then I know the draft's going to be on us in like 2 weeks, so it's coming quick, but it's exciting.